I'm here with Juanita Martinez of the Boys and Girls Club, Program Director, right?
Yes, sir.
What exactly is a Program Director?
Program Director, in my position, I will be responsible for directing all the programming that's going on in the club. So the programming that we have here can range anywhere from the arts, excuse me, the arts to athletics, fitness. It could also be regarding leadership skills, culinary program, creative skills. So we have tons of programming that are going to go on here. I'll be in charge of coordinating that, making sure that our counselors are structured with having these different programmings going on for the youth in the Immokalee community.
And like I said before, this is the Boys and Girls Club, something new to the community.
Yes.
How did this come to be? How did this happen?
Well, the Boys and Girls Club is in Collier County, so the name is the Boys and Girls Club of Collier County. So we do have a main campus in Naples, and then now we are opening up the Immokalee campus. So this is the only other campus in the Collier County. We also have previously been in schools. So I know some people are familiar with Boys and Girls Club because we're at the high school and the middle school through the Miracle program. But now we have our own facility where we can now have our own structure here, strictly under the Boys and Girls Club.
Okay, a little bit of background on you, because I know you personally, so I know you're from the community.
Yes.
Tell me, how important do you think it is that the program director of the community is from this community?
I think it's huge and really important because in this position, you have to know the programming that's needed in this community, because you can be in another community, let's say Naples, for example, who, if I go over there, I may think and just use Immokalee, for example, think that they need different programming, but they already have that over there. So now being in Immokalee and being the program director here, I know that all the things that are missing from the youth and
Right.
from their leadership skills, from their lives, missing at home, missing in the schools, that they don't have. And so these are the things that I want to bring and introduce to the youth, also introduce to the counselors, because sometimes the counselors may not know, and just kind of like teach the whole community as a whole. Even their parents may not know things that the youth can go back and teach their parents. So I think it's very important for me, or not just me, but other staff to be from Immokalee so they can be familiar with the population that they're working with specifically.
So, like you mentioned, you think it's important for the community. Us growing up here in Immokalee, we never had anything like this. So this is big. This is something amazing for the community.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think it would have affected us if we would have had this?
Oh, I think it would have affected us like hugely. We would have been able to had so much opportunity for growth and for success. And a lot of times, I know a lot of us weren't able to be as successful as we could have been, and we've developed, like the Immokalee community has developed so much, and I think that that's huge and that's awesome. But now that we have it here, we have these opportunities to be able to now teach the youth. But if we, you and I, for example, would have had these things, like before going off to school, before leaving Immokalee, I would have known some of these things that I didn't learn until well into my 20s.
Right.
And now I'm hoping that we can teach these kids these things in middle school and in high school. And that just gives them advance into the world, so that way they're not at a disadvantage. If they decide to leave, or just even deciding to stay in Immokalee, they're not at a disadvantage of knowing some of the things that other people know.
I know you touched on it. My other question to you is going to be, what is the Boys and Girls Club emphasizing in the youth? What is your purpose? What do you guys want to get out of this?
Well, our mission is specifically to enable all young people to, especially the ones that need us most, exactly the Immokalee students, to reach their full potential. And that's as productive, caring, and responsible citizens. That's something that we really emphasize on. And that mission is exactly my life on what I want to do with the youth in Immokalee.
Okay. We walked into this building today, and I know we were amazed. Can you tell us a little bit about this building?
Yes, as you guys were amazed, I have been completely blown away. And I came when, it was like kind of in construction phase. It wasn't finished whatsoever. And yesterday was my first time that I was able to come with furniture in here. And, it's been something that we've been working on. And you guys have seen it, what I just saw a few hours ago, as of yesterday. So that completely blew me away of what is now available to the Immokalee community. And, it touches me personally, because now allowing this to be in the youth, allowing the youth to have these things that, we never even imagined having when we were growing up, it's huge. So We have tons of things here. So we have, starting off, I'm going to kind of go around how the building is set up. We have a huge game room. It has like 2 foosball tables, a pool table. It has a ping pong table. They have 3 TVs set up, which the TVs aren't there yet, but 3 TVs set up in the middle of the game room where they'll have PlayStations, and they have chairs like for about 3 students per TV. So the kids are going to absolutely love that. The whole architecture here is amazing and so modern. One of my first responses was I felt like I was like in the future. Right. Because if you step in this building, you really don't feel like you're in Immokalee. Exactly. It's like you're somewhere else. And, even me who, when I lived in a big city, I didn't see things this beautiful. This is such a blessing to the community to be able to have something like this. So now next you'll move into we have actually a game dispensary as well with the game room where we'll have tons of games for the kids to rent out. We also have a huge teen room, which we're sitting in now. The teen room is usually people's favorite. It's so modern and awesome. Favorite. Yes, it's definitely my favorite as well. So I wish I would have had this when I was in high school. Right. It kind of reminds me of a coffee shop, and I love coffee shops. So I feel that there's computers set up for them. There's certain areas, tables where they can do meetings. If an organization kind of wants to come here and do a meeting and their members, they can come here. There's these amazing couches here. There's a screen TV on the wall. They have their own bathroom here. They have their own exit here, and they'll have a team coordinator that works specifically with them and their programming. We have 7 classrooms where classes can meet in. We also have an art room, an amazing art room where the tables in the art room open up to be like an east, so it's amazing and so modern. It's beautiful. We have a dance room, a beautiful dance studio that has like mirrors all on the wall. It's gorgeous. I want to learn ballet just so I can be in that room. We have a music studio where it has a brand new piano in there. We have a couple counselors who are really interested in keyboarding and piano, who I would love for them to be able to teach those talents to the kids as well. We have 2 computer labs, awesome computer labs for the students to work in. And so that'll be different from the teens because the teens have their own computers in their teen center. We have an awesome library, and it's also like a conference room as well to do meetings, and they have beautiful bean bags in there as well for the kids to lay in there and read books. I'm a huge book reader, so I plan to pass that on to some of them. We also have a cafeteria, a patio area, and then a lot of people are probably wondering, like, all the green space we have. We have a lot of green space as well, and so we'll kind of get into all our green space in a bit.
I think we have a video, right? Am I correct?
Yes, an amazing, awesome video.
Which I think this is the first look into this building from any media outlet.
Yes, from any media outlet, any students. Like, none of our members have been in here yet. So this is big. Yeah.
So let's throw it to this video.
This is awesome. Yes.
Beautiful building. Can you go ahead and tell me a little bit more about, you said there's phases to this, or?
Yes, so, I know there's been some talk about the building here not being as big as they expected or as big as it should be, that's needed in the community. Right now, what a lot of people don't know is our first phase is the only phase that's been complete. And so what I said earlier about all the green space, that green space, and it's something that you showed on the video, that I'd love to look back in a couple years, because all that green space will be filled. And we'll have a pool added to that. We'll have a baseball field in that green space. We'll have a soccer field, which will also be the flag football field. We'll have a gym in there, which will have the basketball courts in there. And we're going to be able to develop like immensely. It's going to be a huge club by the time they're finished with all the phases. And so we're just working on the funding for that. So once we get all of those phases complete, it'll be a complete club, and people will be able to realize how big it is in the end.
Let's go back to the inside of the building. I know you mentioned classrooms.
Yes.
Can you elaborate a little bit on is there a teacher in there, or is there class going on, or?
Well, we do have what they're called youth development counselors. So we have a great group of counselors, and I'm really excited to start working with the kids. A lot of them are from the community, very active, very knowledgeable, that they have a lot to bring to the youth here to empower them and to just teach them things that they don't know, or teach them new things, just bring those new things to them and open their mind. In the classrooms, because one of the things that we emphasize, we're not a school here. All of our members will love to come to the club. They will love to be here. It's an amazing place to be. So they will enjoy being here. We do like to have our academics as a component, because that's very important to teach the youth that, academics are very important. So we have a power hour where the kids get homework help, and that's something that, we look for volunteers, tutors to be able to come in and help them, help the counselors, and help the youth with their homework here. And so that's what they'll use the classrooms for, their homework help. They'll use the computer labs to do just different programming that they're interested in, and also to finish their homework. If they have reports or something like that, they could use them for that. They also, in the game dispensary, we have a bunch of board games. They can rent out these board games with their badges, which all the members will be given badges. And they can rent out any board games and go back and play them in the classroom. Also, there can be just different programming that goes on. We have this one class called Passport to Manhood, where it teaches some of the students about how to tie a tie, how to shine a shoe, like how to iron their clothes, how to shake hands, how to make eye contact when speaking to others. And these are things that they may never get taught, just in different situations. They just don't get taught these things. Parents just may not teach their child how to shake a hand. And you can tell a lot by somebody and their demeanor when you shake their hand, or when they're making eye contact with you, just their posture. And these are things that, I want to teach all these youth, and I want to have other people who are passionate about improving the youth here in the community, such as yourself, Carlos. If you want to be a volunteer here, we'd love to have you and come help, and teach. Teach your talents, because you guys are great at photography, videography and photography, to come here in the community or come here to the club and teach our members these type of things. So anybody, we have a lot of people in the community that are great at dancing, great at singing, come and teach our kids these things, like just to do it for the passion and the love for the youth.
Right. We live in a very agriculture town. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious to know the timing. How does the times work here? Like, what time do the kids come? What time do they leave?
The kids come right after school, and they stay here until 7 p.m. And so 7 p.m. It's huge, because a lot of families or a lot of parents, they don't get out of work until 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, right. And their kids are out of school at maybe earliest 2 o'clock. And then what are they doing after school?
Exactly.
And they could be either getting into trouble, like walking around hanging with their friends, or they could be doing great things. They really could be. But what guidance do they have? What kind of leadership do they have while they're doing these things? They need to have more leadership and more guidance, more mentors here in the community that are guiding these youth to do the right thing, to teach them things that they don't know and teach them things that they should be knowing. We
are live, and somebody asked, how do you become a member?
We are actually doing enrollment. Our enrollment is closed until October 24th. So we'll start opening enrollment then. We had our first open enrollment on October 1st at the big bus event.
Right.
And so we had a huge turnout. Like, so, there were parents waiting there well over an hour before we got there who wanted to enroll their students or their children. And it's open. We don't restrict any student to come here or anybody if they want to enroll their child. It's from ages 6 through 18, and so we do take kinder if they're 6 already. So it has to be the ages. That's the ages that we go by. So if they're interested in coming, just to make sure they're in that age range, we've had, in the first 2 days alone, we had over 200 applications turned in, which was huge because our enrollment goal is 450, and we're into the 300s right now. So we are close to reaching that enrollment goal. If we would have kept enrollment open, I'm sure we would be at that number already. But that just shows you the need in this community. It just shows you how many students really need that help, and how many just children here in the community need that empowering from these people here. I know the middle school age, they need a lot of assistance as well. There's not a lot of programming in the middle school. In the high school, they do have a lot of programming there. So the high schoolers that come here, they are not required to be here every day, which I know that's been a huge question from the high school students, because they're like, I'm already involved in this organization,
right,
and I have a job, and I have to go home and take care of my little brother and sister, and they have a bunch of responsibilities as high schoolers. And so we understand that. We don't expect them to be here every day. They come to the club as they need to. They come to get help. They come because, they're having that mock interview today where I can learn how to have a great interview. Or they're doing the resume building today. I can go and help and, learn how to get a great resume or a cover letter. So they come as they need to, and hopefully they'll come a lot because there's so much help here and
right,
stuff they want to learn. And then we also provide dinner, so, they're going to want to come and probably eat. So those are things that they'll want to come and enjoy to do.
Is there do you have to pay to be a member? I don't know how that works.
Yes, so the membership fee is $5, and that covers
$5?
Yes, the
Wow.
$5 covers the entire school year. So people are kind of hearing $5 membership fee, and they're thinking, oh, is that for me to turn in a piece of paper? No, the $5 membership fee literally covers the entire school year. So it's
That's the dinner.
all the programming that comes included, the transportation that comes
Wow.
included. We do transport members from their elementary school over here to the club. So we have 5 elementary schools in Immokalee. So those 5 elementary schools will get transported to the club. As far as middle school and high school, if you know where we're located at 1155 Roberts Avenue West. So that's, if you know where the middle school track is at, it's right across the street from the middle school track. So because we're so close, literally across the street from middle school, and the middle school is across the street from the high school,
You're right in the
they're
center.
walking.
Yeah, you're right in the center of.
So high school and middle school are required to find their own transportation here, but it's, it's 3-5 minute walk. They
Right.
can walk over here. Elementary, they're younger and also further, so they are being transported over here. We cover transportation costs for them to get here, and we also cover transportation costs for any of our members to get home, which is a huge number here because, as you know, a lot of the parents in the community don't have cars, or they're not at work yet, or not out of work yet, and the students don't have transportation. So we don't want them to be walking at 7 o'clock at night, so we provide transportation as well.
Now, just an example. Let's say a student is in another daycare or another program, and that program closes like at 5. If they're members of Boys and Girls Club, would they be able to come over here
Yes.
till 7?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And they can, and that's one of the things for the high school, like kind of I mentioned, if they're involved in other things, or even any age, they're involved in other, like let's say they're doing Pop Warner football right now.
Right.
I've gotten that question as well. It's like, my child is already kind of doing a program right now, but I want to get them as a member into the Boys and Girls Club. They can, and they can still come. We're not going to be, we don't monitor attendance like strictly to where it's like, okay, this person missed a day, that's strike 1, and they're not like on a 3-strike rule. It's just, if we have a huge waiting list and we see that a member, let's say Carlos, you're a member, and you're only coming maybe once a week, and this doesn't really apply to high school, but if you're at a high demand, for example, 3rd grade is a super high demand age here at the club, and if you're in 3rd grade, Carlos, and you are only coming once a week, and we have a waiting list of about 50 students that are trying to get in 3rd grade, then we may contact your parent and let you know, Well, Carlos isn't coming that much, so maybe he doesn't need the program. And if he doesn't need the program, the parent will probably realize that as well, and be able to give it to another child
Someone
who
that
really
needs
needs
it.
it. Yeah.
Right.
So, that's what we want to do. We want to help empower the ones who really need it, and that's exactly what our mission states.
So if anybody has any more questions or any information, who do they contact? You? Who is
Yes.
it that they speak to?
They can contact us here. We actually have our phones up and running. Like I said, we just moved into the building yesterday, so we're finally in the Immokalee campus. You can contact us here at the Immokalee campus, and I can get you that number. It'll probably be on the comments. Again, since I just moved in yesterday, I don't have that number, but you can always contact me by email. My email is jmartinez, that's JMartinez at bgccc.com. So I check my email very, very often.
Before we go, I want to touch on something. You said there's the thing where they teach people how to do the ties, the kids. What is it called?
Passport to Manhood.
And I was thinking about it while you were speaking because, like I said, it's an agriculture town, and sometimes parents don't have time to teach their kids that, shake hands, the tie. I don't know how to tie a tie. So I think it's very important for you guys to realize as Boys and Girls Club that you guys are coming into a community that's family. So I think this is going to be amazing. This is something amazing for the community.
Yes, I agree. And so, if you know me, I'm all about Immokalee. I'm super passionate about Immokalee and being here and making a difference here. So that's something that I've decided to dedicate my life to do, and to be like other great community leaders from here. So that's what I'm here for, and I want to make sure that all of our members have an amazing experience. And not just if you're a member, I love the Immokalee community in general. I want to unite the whole Immokalee community, so that more people feel empowered to want to work with our youth, want to work with each other. One of the plans for the club is during the day while the members are at school, we plan to, and this is in the future, but we plan to open it up possibly for the community, so they can come in and use the computers, and they can come in and get resume help and cover letter help and interview help, because a lot of the times it's a lot of the parents or the adults that need this as well, because I needed it as an adult. I didn't learn this stuff as I was a youth. So
we have some other questions here. How do people sign up to become a volunteer?
A volunteer, you'll contact me, and so you can contact me here at the building, or you can email me. I would love for people to contact me.
So you are in need of volunteers right
Yes, I definitely am in need. You can volunteer an hour a week, and then that can be a time where you just volunteer as a power hour and helping them with math. You're great at math, and
Right.
you're great at second grade math, Carlos, and you want to come and help the second graders for an hour with their homework.
I won't be volunteering for math. I'm horrible at math.
Okay, well, you can help with science.
I can help with reading.
With video.
So if they'll contact you, the high school kids can volunteer too, you said? Or?
Yes, so we plan to have that as well with our teens. A lot of times the high schoolers, they want a lot of volunteer hours because
Right.
they need to reach certain volunteer hours, so they can use the time as a member. They're here as a member, and they can also go into some of the classrooms and help out, and they'll get their hours that way
With
as
the
well.
littler ones.
With the smaller ones.
Anything else you want to tell the scoop heads?
Well, we'd love to thank some of our sponsors that have been huge and pivotal in creating this organization here, having this amazing building here. So this building, the first phase, is 29,000 square feet. So it's huge.
Right.
And I know it doesn't seem that way from the outside. I know before I started working here, I passed by this road all the time, and I would always look at it. I've watched the whole construction go up. It's beautiful. It doesn't seem the way it is. But it's huge, and you saw in the video, Naples Children and Education Foundation, they were a huge helping hand in just the whole creation of getting this building open. They are the founders of the Naples Winter and Wine Festival, and so they, a huge thank you to them, and for people in the Immokalee community to realize also what they brought to the community. Also Littman Produce, a huge sponsor in bringing the Boys and Girls Club here.
All right. Well,
Yes,
if there's nothing else you want to say, we're going to sign off.
Okay, and any questions, feel free to comment. I'll answer them if I see there's questions on there. If not, again, email me. I can probably put that in the comments as well. You can email me. I'm here and willing to listen to anybody. If anybody has ideas on, different programming we can do, I'm willing to listen and bring different things and just open their minds
Yeah.
to see
There's
everything
more.
that's outside of this bubble that we live in.
One last thing. When does it officially open?
So it officially opens on Monday, October 17th. That's when we get our first batch of
This
members
Monday?
in. Yes, so this Monday, like in 2 days. And
Is
so,
it gonna be like a grand opening or?
no, that's not going to be our grand opening. We are going to have a grand opening, so stay tuned for that. It will be soon, but Monday is our grand opening for the members.
Okay.
So then, other than that, we will have a grand opening to the public.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
No
again for
problem.
letting us
Thank
in
you,
here.
and thank you to Scoop. Like, it's amazing. I appreciate you coming out here, and especially what you do for the community as well. Like, I see it, and I see that you're bringing all these new things to the community and trying to just bring more exposure, and that's exactly what I want to do, and this is exactly why I want to partner with organizations like yourself and other people who want to do for this community.
We'll
making a
be
huge
back.
change.
We'll be back.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.